So the SAG AFTRA Mafia is back at it again, baby. Coming after old Paperbag Boy for simply giving an impartial interview to Paimon's voice actor, to Karina Boetker. But now they're trying to say that I have included and excluded parts of the interview, jumbled the answers up and around to make Karina look bad. You know, this is why I chose to do as minimal editing as possible and to let Karina have her piece, to let her say her piece, because I knew that if I didn't, me being a smaller content creator, that they would have came after me harder than ever and that they would have actually had reasons to. But now they don't. They're coming after old Paperbag Boy, and it's just making them look all the more ridiculous. Also, boys, this is the 3K milestone, baby, the 3K milestone video. So make sure that you stick around to the end to find out if you get shouted out, baby, because I'm going to be giving a huge shout out to all my top commenters. Let's get into it. I would like to take this time to remind you to listen to industry people about these issues. Like, we can even trust industry people at this point. That would be freaking insane. Why would we ever trust the industry people? They have been proven to be liars, proven to have financial incentive, and also to be incredibly disingenuous. They literally contradict themselves on the daily. Drama tubers are not your friend. They get paid via engagement, watch time, and clicks, not for sharing info in good faith. Excuse me, but I felt like the interview was actually in good faith, and you just don't like the outcome of it. You don't like the things that Karina said, and you don't want to say it. If someone is trying real hard to grab your attention, ask yourself why. But here they say, but the content creator talked to an industry person. That's right, I did. I talked to them. I gave them the chance to say their piece. I cannot help it if it was wrong. I cannot help it if they lied. I cannot help it if they contradicted themselves. That's a good step. I'd still urge caution, because the CC can choose what to include and exclude in their videos in order to push a certain narrative. So now they're trying to say that old Paperbag Boy is literally including and excluding parts of my video to push a certain narrative. Are you absolutely insane? This is why I chose as minimal editing as possible. This is why I literally agreed not to refute their points, because these people would come after me in droves if I did, in droves. Listening to industry folks from all sides in the wild is more representative of what's really going on. Now, that is the most insane statement that they have made, because these industry people have a financial incentive for the SAG AFTRA strike to literally get a success. They know that they do, and they will lie no matter what to make sure that it happens. But here we've got Ben Diskin, SAG AFTRA bootlicker, and SAG AFTRA defender until the end of time, baby. SAG AFTRA is an actor-led and actor-run, so that means it's not a monopoly. Are you insane? It absolutely is. That means it's not a mafia. It absolutely is. SAG AFTRA moves at the behest of the acting community. Why aren't they giving their members votes on these things? Why are they not getting votes right now? The last best and final offer was rejected because a super majority of actors who learned what was in it refused to accept it. You know, that's actually hilarious, because I remember Chris Capitano's VA literally saying that they were not giving votes on whether or not to accept the last best and final offer. As a matter of fact, Cappuccino said that they have not gotten a vote since the day that they voted to go ahead with the strike. SAG AFTRA isn't forcing us to be on strike. We, the actors, are choosing to remain on strike. Tell that to Erica Harlacher. Tell that to Allegra Clark. Absolutely insanely disingenuous. They know that they are choosing the majority over the minority. They know that even a lot of actors want to go back to work, but they can't, because the SAG AFTRA mafia, baby, is keeping them from doing it. They're literally sending them threatening letters to telling them they will be faced with disciplinary action if they even try to go back to work. So tell me how that cares about voice actors in the slightest. Here we've got Aaron Fitzgerald retweeted by Kyle McCartley, baby. Kyle McCartley. The public may not know or care about the work of so many of us turned down in order to fight for AI protections, but I know, and to all my fellow actors who have, I see you. I think it has been proven at this point that this is not about AI protections, at least in the Genshin space. Whenever it comes to China, it's absolutely absolutely not about AI protections. Karina said so themselves, that they were doing it for financial incentives so that they could get their paychecks, but in reality, they were not getting paid by their studio, if that was even the truth at all. But of course, little creepo, he's a little creepy, folks. He's a little creepy, little old creepo, baby. Zero ill will towards the new performer, but it is bullshit that voice actors keep learning that they got recast at the same time as the internet. Well, then maybe they should go back to work. The issue is that they're striking for so long, and yes, this person, Samantha Kelly, got recasted at Nintendo because she was on strike for SAG AFTRA. She's a part of SAG AFTRA. That means she's a part of the strike, and that means that they were literally striking against Nintendo of all places. Nintendo, absolutely insane. So if they're not showing up to work, then why should the company even care to let them know ahead of time if they're being recast? If you can make a big deal out of Charles Martinet retiring from his role and acknowledging he's the ambassador, etc., months ahead of time, this actress deserved at the very least to be effing informed she lost her role of almost 2 decades. Well, then maybe she shouldn't go on strike for almost 6 months. You know, in the real world, if you don't show up to work, you lose your job. That's how it goes in the real world, not in the theater kid space. Absolutely insane. Here it's Marin M. Miller. Reminder, actors are still on strike for bare minimum guardrails on the use of AI in video games, and we have been for 11 months. We have struck longer and with less resources than our camera colleagues. Here she's trying to discredit the people over at the studio that are also not allowed to work, the people that work as sound producers and on the camera and at the studio, the people that work at the studio. She's trying to discredit them because she's saying that they have been on strike longer than them, which is absolutely insane. Your camera colleagues matter. They matter just as much as you do, but the difference is they're not getting a vote. And as a matter of fact, none of the smaller voice actors are even getting a vote right now from the SAG AFTRA Mafia. And of course, Kelsey Jaffer, one of the most insane SAG AFTRA defenders, coming out with a ridiculous take. Companies that want to exploit you using AI are the enemy, not your peers. Absolutely insane. The companies that want to exploit you want to make you afraid. They want to cause infighting, want to create a scarcity mindset so you feel like they are your only option. I feel like that's exactly what the SAG AFTRA Mafia is literally doing. They are absolutely trying to make the voice actors afraid, cause infighting, and trying to make the voice actors say that the SAG AFTRA union is their only way of getting protection in the voice acting space. It's literally a 1-for-1. It's a 1-for-1. They're sending threatening letters. There's infighting going on because they aren't giving votes, and they are you literally hear the VAs say it on the daily that the SAG AFTRA union is their only protector in this space. Absolutely insane. That doesn't sound like a very healthy relationship to me. Yeah, it doesn't sound like one to me either, buddy. It doesn't sound like a healthy relationship at all. They may give you the security you want, but they'll take so much more. Yep, I feel like they're talking about SAG AFTRA here, folks. Absolutely insane. Here they're saying the last, best, and final offer does not automatically implicate an impasse. It absolutely does, because they can't reach a deal. That is an impasse. They're no longer even negotiating because they aren't taking votes from the voice actors. They know that they're not getting a deal signed. There's never going to be a deal signed, and this is the way that it's going to go. All the companies over in China and Asia are literally fleeing to the east, using the UK voice actors, using Japanese voice actors that speak English to literally get away from SAG AFTRA. We are losing non-union work as we speak thanks to the SAG AFTRA Mafia. It's absolutely insane. This is what Allegra Clark had to say about the impasse. If we come to an impasse in SAG negotiations and work leaves the US, which is already happening, you know who gets screwed over? Productions, studios, engineers, casting directors, and it's not just about acting. There's an ecosystem built around us, because it is not just the VAs that are in trouble here. It is all of them. Absolutely insanely disingenuous to even imply that it's not. They're not gonna listen to me or anyone else, but anyways, I'm gonna say it. End the illegal wildcat strike now. You did more harm than good. Your guild is not a union. People want to go back to work, and you threaten them with letters and threat the VAs horribly. Absolutely right, Duelist. You are a peak person, based as fuck, paper as fuck, baby. The future of the gaming industry and also future dubbing anime shows of the entirety of the US are now in danger and currently at risk because of greedy people. That is the freaking truth. It's SAG AFTRA greed. Here he says, I hope YouTubers like Paperbag Boy and Mugen are currently in the know because holy effing shit, we are in a time where things like this happen and no one learns a single thing or two lessons from the past. This is crazy right now. You know what's actually freaking crazy? The fact that you just mentioned old Paperbag Boy and Mugen in the same sentence, boys. We finally made it. Old Paperbag Boy has finally made it. Literally getting referred to in the same sentence as Mugen. That is insane. And down here they say, do not join SAG. I kid you not. I do not 100% join SAG. Abso-freaking-lutely. It's insane. Also, boys, be sure to go follow on my X channel. Let's get into the shoutouts. This is what you're here for, to find out if you are in the 3K milestone video, baby. Now, I've chosen some new names so that we didn't just rerun the same names as last time, but there are a few of the same, so let's get into it. Katie the Red, Alexandria Atkins, absolutely peak commenter. Bowsette, of course, Old Fury, baby, Old Fury. And then we've got Mal Adams Gaming. And then we've got D-Block, baby. D-Block, a huge commenter, top commenter, absolutely insane. This dude has dropped like 70 comments on the channel. Merc, of course, Merc, peak person, peak commenter. Sleepy Lumina, baby, Sleepy Lumina. I need a cup of tea. I am here to pour your tea, Sleepy Lumina, and I love you. So here's a subscribe from me. Old Michael Hodge. Now, I missed this person last time, but they are absolutely a top commenter. Michael Hodge and Zortek, baby, Zortek. We all love Zortek. Anyways, boys, what do y'all think about the SAG AFTRA Mafia? You think they're paper or you think they're plastic? You think they're organic, crisp, clean, good shit that we need in a voice acting space, or you think they're plastic? You think they're basically mannequins, baby? You guys be sure to let me know down below. I'm going with plastic. Yeah, baby, plastic as fuck. Plastic through and through. They're basically mannequins. Aliens come from Saturn, the size of Saturn, to take over old Paperbag Boy's channel and get him to quit talking about old SAG AFTRA in a bad light. You guys be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, boys. I love all of you. GG's, peace.